How has your criteria changed for businesses over the last 2 years?
It's just much bigger. It's just the businesses have to be a lot bigger. They have to be billion-dollar opportunities now. When I first started, I think honestly, when I first started, the goal was like $50 million opportunities. And then it became like $250 million opportunities. So it's almost like 5x actually, like every like 18 months or so, it's almost 5x.
So how does it work exactly? A company reaches out to you and they say, hey, we want to
They'll go through acquisition.com on the site and then.
And what do? They submit their info that they want money or they want to sell, or what?
It depends.
What is it?
So we basically have three kind of places that someone can go. So for like seed capital, SaaS, software type startups, we have ACQ Ventures, which is our venture arm. And so those are typically like smaller checks that are between like $50 and $1 million, like check sizes. And so we do, a lot of those deals. We do probably like a couple deals, 3-4 deals a month sometimes. Like December we did 4. I think we did 4 in January. Like we do a decent amount of deal volume there. And those deals are much more like meet the founder, understand the idea, cool, we can just deploy. We have the private equity side, which is kind of like the big boy side. And those businesses, like if we're going to do a deal, they're all bespoke based on, the valuation of the business, where we think the business can go, what our value add is. And typically in that side, it's like right now we're 40% SaaS, 40% B2B services, and then 20% consumer services. And we're shifting over time towards just a blend of SaaS and professional services. That just tends to be where we just do really well. And so that's on the private equity side. And then we have the advisory division, which we started in January of last year, which is companies that are like not really portfolio ready. And so that's kind of like that, 1 million, 10 million, 30 million sometimes dollar per year business where it's like they need to change a couple of things. And the reason that happened was for the 3 years prior to January of last year, we'd look at a business, we do 4, 5, 6, diligence calls, get to understand the business. And a lot of times, like 90 times out of 91, we'd be like, not a fit for us or not fit for us right now. Maybe change these 2 things, move this metric up. And when you do, like call us back. And what ended up happening is a lot of founders were like, this was more valuable than anything I've ever had to go through. And thanks for doing it for free. And for me, it was actually super expensive because I'm doing that 90 times however many calls, lots of companies. And I was like, I wonder if we could do this in a way that we could charge to the same basically assessment of a business and say, here's all the things that we would do, here's how we change it. And so then we wanted to see if people were interested in it. So January, I was like, hey, if anyone wants to come out to our headquarters, you can meet my portfolio team. We'll kind of assess the business and be like, these are the blockages to either making it more valuable or scaling it. And so it's like, you'll meet with my head of marketing. He'll be like, okay, change this on your webpage, change this on your ads, change this on whatever. Or meet my head of sales. If sales is a constraint, these are the things that we do. And people have really, really, really liked it. So it's been exceptional. And I think the reason that it works so well is that there's kind of what I was alluding to at the beginning is that there's just not a lot of help at that $1 to $100 million range. And I think we can provide that. And so,
how do you make money from that? Are you taking distributions from the company, or have you sold some?
No. We sell it as an advisory service. It's just a service. It's a B2B
overall
service
for acquisition.
Overall. Well, no, we have distributions that come from the private equity side.
Okay.
The venture checks, obviously, I'm not going to see anything for that for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And then services, just normal business.
Why don't you have a website or a place where people could see the companies that you've invested in?
It's a good question. It's something that I've gone really back and forth on. The main reason is like when I sold Gym Launch, I sold Prestige Labs, which was a sister company that did supplements and sold through the distribution base. And I remember in the diligence meetings for that, it was like a huge point of contention that I had a 10,000 person Instagram following at the time. And they were like, are all the sales coming from your Instagram? And the business is doing like 20 million a year, just the supplement side. And I was like, no, it's not coming. They're like, well, this could be an issue for us if like we can't have complete control of the Instagram. And how do we know you're going to keep promoting it? And I was like, my Instagram is not driving, like 10,000 people does not make it 20 million. Like I promise you. And seeing how sensitive they were to kind of like key man risk around, an acquisition, I was like, okay, if I do deals and I grow my brand, I don't want people to know what the companies are because I'm going to have to go, like I'm going to write a check, but then if I publicly associate with it, then I'm going to have to go with the deal later. So like, for example, School, that was purposely, like a brand association plus money, obviously that went into it. But I know that I'm in that for the long haul. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to be with School for many, many years. And so my key man risk is something that I'm willing to basically deal with. Whereas if I buy an HVAC business, I publicly associate with it, a potential acquirer will want me to sign some other non-competes. I'll have to have some provisions around promotion, and I just didn't want to do that. I have gone back and forth on it, though, to be really honest. Like, I've gone back and forth.
It seems to me like there would be a net benefit on that. It reminds me similar
I've gone back and forth. I have gone back and forth
like
on
a
it.
Shark Tank business, where it's like, as seen on Shark Tank, is pretty big. And you could argue that the business you bring to that would drive up the valuation to a point where even without you, it's still higher than if you were never involved.
Agreed. So then the next thing that goes is, if I have all of these different things that I'm like pseudo promoting, then it almost feels like I'm shilling a lot of things.
No.
And so that's been where I've been.
Like, I would just, as a viewer of you, not that I would question your credibility, but I think that it would bring a lot more clarity where I could actually
I've gone back and forth on it. No, I mean, I've gone back and forth.
And I think it would attract a lot more businesses where you could say, hey, when you started with acquisition.com, you were valued at this much, your revenue was this much, and now look at you.
Here's the other thing. I think it would help you negotiate better terms, saying that you're going to be on this website where it's even 100 companies. And I think it's important you put them all in the same place so that it's not like you're promoting this or promoting that, or you should never talk about these businesses unless in a podcast setting where you're giving an example.
The other, and I mean, I've been torn on it. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been very like, because of all the reasons I just said. But the other one is kind of like the compliance thing that I just said, right? Like, if a company, could you imagine, like, a company does something stupid, and companies do stupid things. Even if I wrote a venture check to a business and the company does something, I'm an owner, and any reporter or clout seeking YouTuber would then be like, Hormozi is saying doing this, and it's just like,
how is it different from Y Combinator, where they're very public? Or a lot of these, like even some of these private equity funds are just like,
that's their value prop though. YC's value prop is Harvard's value prop, is like the main thing they get is
but there are plenty that go through Y Combinator that just turn out to be maybe not the best.
But I think it's Y Combinator is kind of unique in that, like, I mean, to be fair, if a Harvard grad does something bad, Harvard takes a hit. But it is a law of large numbers. I told you, like,
it's going to work both ways. I think it's going to hurt you if a business does something that reflects on you, and if you do something, it reflects on all the businesses. I think it goes both ways. I think the net benefit is like a 51 to a 49. Like 49% down to 51%.
Like, I have gone back and forth to the degree where I've been like, I'm gonna make all of our stuff public. I think I think the ACQ Ventures, if I'm not mistaken, I think our ventures things are public. So it's really just the private equity side.